So as 2021 comes to an end, we look back at all the great games we got this year. A couple great remakes, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, for example, Skyward Sword HD, among other great games, first-party titles, third-party, and all that good stuff. But we're going to be focusing on what's coming next in 2022. A lot of the games that we have officially announced, and maybe a couple that we're just kind of hoping for. Let me know in the comment section below which games you guys are most excited for, or which games you hope to see in 2022 from Nintendo. And as always, if you guys enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like so more people can see it. Subscribe if you guys want to stick around for more Nintendo-based content. We got a lot of content coming in 2022, especially based on all of these games that we're going to be talking about in this video. So if you guys are ready, let's jump into this. So in no particular order, we're just kind of going based on, I guess, official release dates that we have so far. Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game is going to be an open world Pokemon game for the first time ever, and it looks pretty freaking incredible from what we've seen so far. I'm really excited about this one. It's going to be a whole different kind of twist to the Pokemon series. Obviously, we've kind of gotten a lot of, normal type Pokemon games in the past. A lot of us have been kind of wanting this whole open world style Pokemon to see how that would kind of translate in the Pokemon universe and whatnot. And we're finally getting that with Pokemon Legends Arceus. And of course, that also opens the door for other kind of Legends games in the future beyond just Arceus. The way that you're going to catch Pokemon is going to be completely different. It seems like they've taken a lot of inspiration from the Breath of the Wild games, or I guess game, because the sequel of that is not yet out. We're going to talk about that as well in a second. So Pokemon Legends Arceus, again, not a ton to say about it so far because we haven't gotten hands-on with it. We've only gotten kind of a few snippets of gameplay and whatnot, but so far it looks pretty freaking fantastic. The artwork is pretty awesome, and the world is going to be really, really fun to explore and just kind of explore that side of the lore of the Pokemon universe. So I said this was going to be an order of release date. Well, Breath of the Wild 2, we don't really know when it's coming out, but what I will say is that if it's going to be just like the previous entries, it could be earlier in the year, or I guess the previous entry, the first game, Breath of the Wild 1, coming out in March. There's still room for it to come out in March. Some people would say, well, hey, that's kind of close, cutting it close, right? Because we're only about 3 months away from March, but you guys know how Nintendo likes to do things. We can get a Nintendo Direct in February that announces Breath of the Wild sequel coming out in March. That said, I think for a game like that, they probably would want a little bit more of a run-up, and I think it's probably more likely we're going to see it later in the year. Maybe it's something we're going to see at E3 next year, and then we're going to get it sometime maybe in like October, November, kind of towards the Christmas season to sell some more Switch units and all that good stuff. Who knows? Maybe a brand new Switch model comes out at the same time. Maybe that's still a little bit too early. You just never know. There is talks about that as well, so we could get the next iteration of Nintendo's console, whatever that is, whether it's a full-blown, kind of remake of the Switch console with 4K capabilities and all that good stuff. Or maybe it's a whole brand new ecosystem altogether. The rumors are saying that whatever is coming next for Nintendo's hardware is going to be linked to the previous, the current Nintendo Switch, where you can actually play Nintendo Switch games on this new console and all that good stuff. So, Breath of the Wild 2, again, we don't know a ton about it. I've talked about it a bunch here on the channel, though, because there is a lot that we can still pick apart from these trailers. Not going to get into that in this video. You can see those videos on the channel if you guys would like to, but there's this whole kind of, light and time kind of theme, and a little bit of a dark theme as well that kind of makes me think of Majora's Mask, which I really, really love. I love Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, and I think we're getting a little bit of that kind of dark edginess in the sequel for Breath of the Wild. So it's going to be exciting stuff. Cannot wait. And again, we're going to be playing through it definitely here on the channel. Let's Play, guides, you name it, we're going to have it. So stick around for that. So the next one we're going to talk about is coming in March 12th to be exact, and that is going to be Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot for the Nintendo Switch. This game was actually already supposed to be out. It's supposed to come out earlier in December, but then it got pushed off a little bit. It got delayed by a few months, and now it's going to be releasing March 12th, 2022. A lot of people are really excited about this reboot. A lot of people that played it back in the day. Personally, I actually never got the opportunity and pleasure to play back in the day, but from what I've seen of this reboot, I'm personally really excited about it. Cannot wait to get hands-on with this game. It looks like a lot of fun. Not usually a big strategy guy, but this game looks different. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to jump into it. So if you do have any tips for a new player for Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot, do let me know in the comment section below so I can have a little bit of an edge when I get into the game when it comes out March 12th. Again, let me know if you guys are excited for it. Seeing a lot of people excited for this game, and it's going to be great. Speaking of excitement and long anticipated games, Bayonetta 3 is finally coming out for the Switch. I don't think they actually gave an official release date, and if they did, I must have forgotten about it or missed it. But Bayonetta 3 finally coming out in 2022. That part is confirmed. We're supposed to be getting it, whether it's early 2022 or later 2022. It should be coming unless there is another delay. Obviously, fans have been highly anticipating this game for quite some time now, and it's been long overdue. A lot of people have been waiting for a very, very, very long time for the third entry in the series, and again, fans are going to be able to get hands-on sooner than later. I will admit, a little bit of a gaming confession here. Never played the first two. Maybe I should go dive into those two games before 3 launches. Hopefully have a little bit of extra time and it comes out maybe towards the mid of 2022. But then again, I'm sure longtime fans are probably hoping that it's an earlier 2022 release. So we'll see how that goes down. But Bayonetta 3 finally should be releasing sometime in 2022. Next up, another one we don't have a release date for. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It looks amazing. Kind of has a little bit of like this open world-esque sort of vibe to it. Very colorful, very vibrant. I'm a huge fan of that kind of style of game. I'm really excited to jump into this world, this brand new Kirby world. It's going to be really cool, really exciting. We don't know exactly when this game's coming out, but they did say early 2022. So unless it gets pushed off, we should be getting it probably sometime in the spring, I would bet. I would say this is probably going to be like an April game, maybe May. It could come out a little bit earlier, but that's my guess personally. Again, could be a March game, but my bet is that it's going to be April or May, probably closer towards May, just before the summer. But again, we don't know the exact date. The game looks great. Like I said, it looks like a lot of fun. We've only seen one trailer so far. Not a lot of information on this game either, but again, the world, from what I've seen and what a lot of people have seen, it looks pretty fantastic, and I'm excited to jump into this one. It's going to be fun to bring you guys some content on that game as well here on the channel. Next up, we have the sequel to Mario plus Rabbids. This one's going to be called Sparks of Hope, and this one, again, I don't have an actual release date for it. It's to be dated, but from what we've seen from the trailer, it looks pretty fantastic. The cinematics alone are really, really stunning. Honestly, we need like a Mario movie in that style. Okay, I know Illumination's doing their thing, but we need something in that style. Maybe like a Mario and Rabbids movie. Maybe Ubisoft can work on that with Nintendo. Who knows? Maybe there'll be another Mario movie in the future. But as far as the game goes, the game looks great. A lot of people love the first game. It was a big hit. Again, it's a more of kind of a turn-based strategy style kind of game. I'm not very good at that, but my time with this game, with the first game that is, was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to Sparks of Hope when it launches, because again, it's just expanding the story and expanding the universe of Mario plus Rabbids. So again, sometime in 2022, don't know the exact release date. A lot of these games on this list are to be dated, so keep that in mind. But let me know if you guys are excited for Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. So this next one, technically you could get away with saying it's Nintendo, but it's not technically on the Nintendo Switch. Not that we know of. It might come to the Nintendo Switch. As of right now, as far as I'm aware, we only have PC, Mac, iOS, and Android, which honestly, I'm just excited to play this, and that is Pokemon TCG Live. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon cards in general, Pokemon in general. I love the TCG. Haven't played a ton of it, I'll be honest, but I've played a little bit of the normal kind of game on PC, and TCG Live looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to jump into this, and anything as Pokemon, I'm always down for personally. So, I'm just excited to see more of this game. I'm excited to actually get hands-on with it, and hopefully it's going to be a big hit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be something that a lot of people enjoy. And so, I mean, again, I don't really know a whole lot more to say to that. I don't think we have an actual official release date as of the time of recording this, but again, it's supposed to come out sometime in 2022, hopefully sooner than later, and hopefully get a little bit more information soon, because again, Pokemon TCG Live, I love TCG, I love Pokemon, and a lot of people are, even more than ever, have gotten into the TCG cards, at least opening them. So maybe more people will be intrigued to jump into the actual playing side of the card game and see what that's all about as well. Next up, it's going to be an Ink Fest once again with Splatoon 3. Really, really excited about this one. I cannot say that more. I gotta say it more. I'm really excited about it. Splatoon 3 looks fantastic. We've gotten a couple kind of sneak peeks at it. We got a couple different kind of trailers and all that good stuff, and a couple looks at this game, and it's gonna be really exciting. Obviously, the first game, when it first came out, a brand new IP, huge hit over on the Wii U. Had an absolute blast with it myself. Obviously, not a lot of people own a Wii U compared to a Switch, but the people that did own a Wii U, I'm pretty sure most of them actually had Splatoon. I would assume, because it was a great game. And then when the Switch came out, they announced Splatoon 2 was coming out as well, and then Splatoon 2 just increased and expanded the world of the Splatoon universe, adding some other kind of game modes like Salmon Run, which is an absolute blast, kind of a wave-like sort of, I guess, apocalyptic style feeling kind of game mode, if you will. Lots of fun. Splatoon 2 is such a blast, and Splatoon 3, I'm sure, is going to be even better and better and bigger and just so much more fun. It's just going to continue to expand the Splatoon universe. These games, if you haven't played them, I cannot stress it enough. You guys got to get hands-on with these games. They are so much fun. The music is always an absolute pleasure. The visuals, the characters, it's just really cool. It's basically a Nintendo first-person shooter, right? It's Nintendoized. It's really cool what they've done with the Splatoon universe, and Splatoon 3 looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, expanding the roster of weapons and abilities that you can use, and just everything to do with the Splatoon universe in and of itself. So I'm losing my words because I'm just really excited for this game, and cannot wait to play it here on the channel as well. Let me know if you guys are hyped for Splatoon 3. So unfortunately, Nintendo being Nintendo, we don't really have two other ones, but I wanted to make this kind of a top 10 style kind of video. So I threw in two things that I kind of hope we're going to get something talked about or announced or whatever. And that is either Metroid Prime 4, because obviously Nintendo rebooted Metroid Prime 4, having it been in development for, I guess, a couple years, and they weren't really happy with where it was sitting, so they rebooted it. And that's been going on for a little bit. We haven't really heard anything of that. So I'm hoping that we at least hear something about Metroid Prime 4. And then the other question is, could we, and I really hope we do because I never played the originals, could we get a Metroid Prime trilogy remaster? I think that would be perfect, especially if Prime 4 is not quite ready yet. I think it would be great to introduce players such as myself, for example, to the Prime trilogy before 4 comes out, especially after Metroid Dread did so well. I mean, let me put it this way. For myself, Metroid Dread was actually the first Metroid I actually finished. I hate having to confess that because Metroid's such a massive Nintendo franchise. I've played other Metroid games, I just never got through them for some reason, but Dread was just an absolute crazy game. It was definitely Game of the Year, or at least a very high contender for Game of the Year, if not actual Game of the Year. And a lot of people just love that game. So I think especially after that, to introduce this new player base and even some older player bases that maybe just want a refresher on the Prime series before 4 comes out, I think that would be perfect. And I really hope that that's something that's in the cards for Nintendo, something that's being worked on that we're going to get announced in 2022. Who knows? Maybe it actually gets released in 2022. Let's hope. So for the last one, this is kind of a two birds, one stone, and honestly, I don't know the likelihood of this happening, because if you look at the pattern for Nintendo, they've been releasing a Zelda game almost every single year. One Zelda game, not typically more than that. You typically don't have 2 games in a single year, but they've been launching at least one, even if it's, you know, kind of a spin-off style like Hyrule Warriors, or if it's a remake, kind of like, you know, Link's Awakening or Skyward Sword HD and things like that. And we are getting Breath of the Wild sequel in 2022, so I don't know that we would see either one of these, but I'm really hoping that Twilight Princess HD or Wind Waker HD gets ported over to the Nintendo Switch. As I've been saying a lot here on the channel, is the fact that we just those are like 2 games we don't have from the Wii U. We've had almost every other first-party title on the Wii U get ported over to the Nintendo Switch, but Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD have not, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping that somehow we see one or both of those in 2022. Twilight Princess is my all-time favorite game ever, like not just Zelda, like any game at all. And Wind Waker is definitely up there. Wind Waker is an absolutely fantastic game. If you haven't played it, you need to play it. So hopefully we get those on top of Breath of the Wild. Maybe Breath of the Wild comes out later in the year. Maybe Twilight Princess or Wind Waker HD comes out earlier in the year. That'd be great, but again, I don't know that it's going to happen just because of the pattern that we've seen from Nintendo. But I thought, hey, it's worth a mention at least, right? So those are 10 kind of technically Nintendo games that we can look forward to in 2022 for the most part. Again, a couple of those are just kind of hopes that I threw in at the end there, but for the most part, those are 10 different Nintendo games that we could hopefully see in 2022 sometime. Most of those confirmed for 2022. Some of those not even confirmed at all to be in existence, but hey, we can hope, right? And a Nintendo fan can hope. But let me know in the comments section below, out of that list, what are you most excited for? And did I miss anything? I did some research, and I thought that was pretty much the only things that have been confirmed, but I may have still missed something. If I did, please do let us all know in the comment section below. And as per usual, stick around for more Nintendo-based content here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys very soon with a bunch more content in 2022 and an early Happy New Year's, or maybe it's already New Year's by the time you're watching this. So I hope you guys have an amazing 2022. I hope 2021 ended with a hit, and again, here's to a whole lot more fun times here on the channel and as Nintendo fans in general. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, game on.